So as we've already seen, each of the reference box values changes how the shape is drawn and positioned by the browser. With both margin box and border box, we've seen that the shape gets increased in size by extending the shape to the outer edges of the element's margin or borders. Unless, of course, we're using border box along with a box sizing of border box. Well, similar to margins in margin box and borders in border box, the reference box for a shape using padding box will be defined by the outer edges of the padding applied to the container. So if we were to take a shape similar to the previous examples and apply padding box to it, once again, we will see that nothing changes. Just like the previous examples for margin box and border box, we haven't yet defined any padding on our element, so the circle is drawn and positioned based off the element's dimensions. So if we add padding to it like so, we can see that the reference box has increased in dimension, and the shape now extends to the outside edges of the padding area. Since padding is applied by default to the inside of the shape, the element grows in dimension along with the shape. And the origin now moves to the outer intersection of the top and left padding on the element. So the circle is now 19m by 19m, which comes from the 15m width and height, plus the 2m padding on all sides. And if we were to add margin, we can see that the shape moves but is not redrawn based off the margin. It remains at the outer edges of the padding or the padding box. And likewise, if we add border to the shape does not change. And like we saw in the border box example, when using box sizing in conjunction with border box and CSS Shapes, the padding will be rendered inside the reference box, meaning that the circle will remain the original size, 15m by 15m. Okay, so now that we have a grasp on how margin box, border box, and padding box works, up next, let's take a look at the final reference box setting, content box.